Hi, I'm Semi-Priceless, and I make ornaments out of sequins. A lot of sequins. Today, in honor of Chinese New Year, the Year of the Pig, I'm going to be making a pig ornament. It's a combination of sequins and also some fun polymer clay elements that I made. For any sequin ornament, you're going to need a styrofoam ball, Smoothfoam, or regular styrofoam. It's up to you. You're going to need sequins, of course. You can use whatever colors are speaking to you that day. You're going to need some pins. Be careful, they're sharp, so I recommend having a magnet on hand to easily pick them up. And you're going to need some ribbon. Oh no, what's going on here? Who did this? Banquo. Not again. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is organize the sequins you want to use onto your workstation. Trust me, I'm not normally this organized. It's just the beginning of the year and I bought all this new stuff at the Container Store. Very exciting. First, you have your styrofoam ball. Here I'm using Smoothfoam. I like it. It's a little firmer and more durable. And I've got some polymer clay elements that I'm going to incorporate into my ornament. What I've done is baked pins into the polymer clay so that I can easily stick them into the ornament once I'm ready. I've got some pipe cleaner, which I'll use for the tail. I've got my ribbon, and I've got my pins. Since this is a hanging ornament, you want to start by cutting your ribbon and attaching it to the styrofoam ball using your pins. Keep in mind that for this type of ornament, the sequins are actually going to cover the entire styrofoam ball, including the ribbon, so you don't need to worry about making this look super perfect. Good enough will do. I like to wrap the ribbon around at least twice, just so I have that extra stability for my hanging ornament. The ornament is going to be covered with sequins, which means there's going to be hundreds of pins in the ornament, so it's going to get heavy. You want it to be secure. Double knot it at the top, and you're good to go. Now you're ready to start putting your sequins onto the ornament. For each sequin, you're going to need one pin. There's no magic to it. It's just one sequin, one pin at a time. I tend to start with the more detailed elements of my design, get those down first. So here I'm starting with the snout of my pig. That's why I'm also using these really small sequins. If you notice my mouth moving during this tutorial, it's because I stream my crafting on Twitch. If you'd like to watch real-time crafting, definitely check out my Twitch channel. It's also semi-priceless. I think you're starting to get the idea, so let's speed this up. So first, I complete the outline of the snout. And then I start working on the eyeballs. Keep in mind that if you make a mistake, it's no big deal. You can just take out that pin and that sequin and put it back where you want it. That's the beauty of making these sequin ornaments. Here I'm using small black sequins for the nostrils. Oh look, my assistant Pig over here wanted to have a closer look. For those of you who may have noticed that I'm wearing a Piggly Wiggly shirt, this is not a coincidence. When I make a pig ornament, I go whole hog. Once you've outlined the snout, you can begin to fill it in. When filling in these elements, you want to make sure to kind of layer the sequins over each other. It almost has a kind of fish scale effect. The reason you do this is because you want to make sure to have full coverage. You don't want to see any of that styrofoam underneath. As you can see, the snout is now fully covered. And there go the eyeballs. Now that I'm done with the detailed elements of this ornament, which in this case is the snout and the eyes, I can start to work on the background of the ornament. Since I'm just trying to achieve a solid color, the pig skin, I'm going to use these larger pink sequins. This is going to save me a lot of time, rather than using smaller sequins like the ones I used for the snout. Sometimes I do torture myself and use small sequins for even larger ornaments, but in this case, Chinese New Year is right around the corner, and I really like the color of these pink sequins, so larger sequins it is. This part of the process, where you're just doing one color, one kind of sequin, can get a little tiring, so I definitely suggest putting on some sort of police procedural, something to pass the time, maybe some X-Files, maybe some Criminal Minds, something that you can just kind of listen to and have in the background as you're working. It'll definitely make this part go a little faster. Or if you're like me, sometimes you just like to do this with a little bit of music. It's kind of zen. Now you may notice some blue sequins that seem to have made their way onto this ornament. These are just placeholders. I'm going to be adding some polymer clay elements here. The hat, some pig ears. I'm also going to use the pipe cleaner to make a tail, so I'm just putting the blue sequins here as placeholders so that I know where I'm putting these elements. You may also notice that I've changed my outfit. These things take a couple days, so, I can't do it all in one go. But I hope you also notice that this outfit is similarly pig-themed. Okay, let's slow down a moment here. Normally I wait till I'm done with the sequins to put in the polymer clay elements, but I just really wanted to see how it would look. I got a little impatient. So you can see I'm putting in the polymer clay elements here that have the pins baked in. Okay, back to the sped up sequin programming. Now that the finish line is in sight, for the sequins, I'm going to take a moment to quickly put the tail in. So I take my pipe cleaner, I cut it to my desired length, I twist it, and then I just use pins and sequins to secure it to the styrofoam ball. It's kind of cute, right? As you get further along in this process, you will have hundreds of pins in the styrofoam ball, so it can get a little crowded in there. If you push a pin in and you meet with resistance, don't force it. Just take the pin out, reposition it, and try again. The pin should go in smoothly. If you really are encountering a lot of resistance, you can switch to using sequin pins. Those are shorter pins and you can see a blue box of them to the right of the screen. I prefer to use satin pins, which are a little bit longer, because I think it gives the sequins a little more stability. But definitely, if your thumbs demand it, you can use sequin pins, and that's just fine. At last, the finish line is in sight. The last thing to do is to take these polymer clay beads, which I have strung onto a string, and attach them to the very bottom of my hanging ornament. This is just a little extra detail to give it some Chinese New Year flavor. Each of these polymer clay beads represents something that means a lot to me about Chinese New Year. Oranges, gold ingots, firecrackers, these are just things I think about when I think of Chinese New Year and how my family celebrates it. Though to be clear, no one has ever given me a gold ingot on Chinese New Year. And there you go, the pig ornament is done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to see more like this, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any suggestions of ornaments you'd like to see me make, or any other suggestions, please comment below. And have a happy Year of the Pig. Oink oink!